What if you could invest in real estate without having to do hardly anything? A lot of people are interested in real estate, but when it comes to investing, they have no clue where to get started. They might have money, sure, but they lack the time to figure it all out. Well, to solve this situation, there's actually an option out there. It's called turnkey real estate. Traditionally, a turnkey real estate company is a company that will find the deal, renovate it, lease it out to tenants, and manage it all on behalf of their customers. They provide an all-in-one service so that the only thing customers have to do is buy a property. They'll take care of the rest. Now, some newer turnkey companies may just focus on providing rent-ready properties without offering management services, but generally speaking, the way it works is the investor just has to stay in strong communication with the turnkey operator, and then they collect rent checks every single month. That's it. It's a pretty sweet deal, but as with everything in life, there are some drawbacks to investing in turnkey real estate. The first is, it's not uncommon for turnkey companies to charge a premium for their property. When I used to live in Indianapolis, I knew a handful of turnkey companies, and they'd routinely sell a property $10,000 to $20,000 over what any local would pay. And some of the more unethical ones might sell a property over market value, meaning more than what the property is actually worth. They were able to do this successfully because the investors they marketed to were in high-cost areas like California and New York, where a $50,000 to $80,000 house is just simply unheard of. But in Indianapolis, houses within this price range are pretty common. At least that's how it was when I lived there. And I saw a lot of out-of-state investors pay a lot more money for properties than I would have been comfortable paying personally. In the investor's mind, however, they probably thought the property was so cheap that they didn't need to take the time to conduct due diligence to determine the true market value. Along the same lines, when an investor buys turnkey, they're typically making less return than if they were to do all the work themselves. This might not be a problem because, again, the investor hardly has to do anything to gain that return, but it's something to be aware of all the same. At the end of the day, turnkey real estate can be a great option, but it's important to make sure you do your due diligence and understand what you're buying and what you're giving up for outsourcing the heavy lifting of investing in real estate to a turnkey company. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, you should click on this one in the top right corner here where we discuss something called subject to financing. I'll see you there.